Last year, I had the networking opportunity of a lifetime. It could have had me working with my favorite artists and really skyrocketed my career in the industry, but I messed it up. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly where I went wrong and how you can not do that in the future. This video is all about how to network within the music industry and how to really build relationships with people instead of just coming across as something that just wants to take from them. So my name is Gwethan. I'm the founder of Hendrik, and as like a freelance job in the industry, I work as stage crew. I've worked on huge stages with artists such as Liam Gallagher, Noel Gallagher, Doja Cat, Florence and the Machine, Lorde, loads others, Cypress Hill, just loads of big names. I've worked around their crews and I've worked on the stages, not always directly with the huge artists. I've worked with the smaller artists on the stages. These are all festivals, bear in mind. But we never really have direct contact with the headliners unless they actually want to go out of their way to talk to us. But anyway, that's not the point of the story. So last year, basically, I was working with a stage manager, and he was also the stage manager of one of my all-time favorite bands. And I really wanted to get work with them and to have contact with them. So all weekend I was, instead of building like a friendship with this guy, a relationship with him, I was just trying to really show how good at my job I was and trying to be perfect and not trying to fuck up and kind of losing all of the human elements that you lose when you try to pursue perfection, right? And at the time, I thought that was really going to seal the deal, you know? And then, yeah, basically I fumbled it and he wasn't interested. And I look back and I was thinking, where did I go wrong? And then I realized I didn't try to make friends with this guy. I didn't, build a connection with him, a relationship. I just tried to show him how competent at my job I was. And that's just not how you network with people. And while it should always involve a level of professionalism, ultimately it just comes down to making friends with people. People will always be able to tell if you're just trying to get something from them, if you're approaching them for something purely transactional, they will be able to see through that. Whereas if you're genuinely interested in them as a person and building a relationship with them, whereas if you're genuinely interested in them as a person and what they do, and you just really want to learn from them, that's a different story, and they really value that. I've had so many people that I've worked with try and teach me things and, really help me grow, because honestly, I'm still at the bottom of this huge mountain, which is a career in the industry. My job is the stage crew, which ultimately means, in just pure honesty terms, I'm sort of at the bottom of the food chain in terms of like the hierarchy on the stage. But that doesn't mean that I don't see things, I don't learn things, I sort of see so many people make mistakes with not just networking, but all sorts of things. And then I really take that on board to improve myself. But people genuinely want to help you, if they like you as a human being and they get on well with you and they have like a good friendship with you, a good connection, they will go over the moon to help you. They will go head over heels to help you grow and to help you develop and learn. And I've seen this firsthand. I've seen people, even myself, but I've seen other people try and impress people, say, and they think that networking is just impressing people and being perfect. But that's just not the case, If you relate it to maybe like a dating perspective, if someone's too available, it sort of feels a bit much, doesn't it, right? They feel not needy as such, but it just feels a lot, and it's kind of a bit of a turn off in a way, if you will. So that's the same with making relationships in the music industry and making connections. If you're just too needy for it, if you're trying too hard and really trying to force a connection, it's just not going to happen. It's just not. If you're going to take anything from this video, is that if you're trying to network with people and you're trying to expand your career, don't just solely focus on being perfect and impressing people, because it's not like that at all. People need to feel that they can hang out with you, that they can be themselves around you, and that they can trust you. And that only comes from building genuine connections. That's not going to come from a transactional relationship. Do you know what I mean? And it goes the other way. If people can't feel like they can just be themselves around you, relax around you, hang out with you, have fun with you, then they're sort of going to be a bit hesitant to help you. So you might be, you know, perfect at what you do, and you might really be skilled in a certain area, but they might just see you as someone that isn't human, someone that they can't connect with on a deeper level. And that's also going to hinder the way that you expand your network and you build relationships. If you really want to develop your network within the industry, the relationships you build have to be much more than surface level, much more than just transactional interactions. It has to be a deeper connection. It has to be not necessarily like a true close friendship, but you have to at least be like on good friendship terms, I guess, with these people, because they're just going to feel so much more inclined to help you. Think about it. Every time that you recommend somebody to someone, it's because you really like them and you really want them to succeed, isn't it? Whereas if someone asked you for a recommendation of somebody and you had someone in mind, but then you thought, yeah, they're really good at their job, but they don't have any social skills, and I don't feel like I can be myself around them, then you're just not going to recommend them, are you? So here's the thing. While you might be amazing at your job, and you know, you might be super skilled and you're in work on time every day, and you know, you just have all of these good qualities, if you don't have social skills, you're really going to struggle. And this is something I learned the hard way, you know, like definitely putting my face in front of a camera helped my social skills somewhat, but I used to be, I still kind of am introverted, but I used to be so quiet and introverted and just socially awkward, and I just wouldn't speak to people unless I was spoken to. I was really timid, and I could just never really connect with people and make friends with people, which then also meant that my work life suffered, because I could see these other people that weren't necessarily as skilled as I was at this particular job just rock up. You know, they were obviously not as skilled as everyone else at their job, but they were able to talk to people like it was nothing, and they were able to just build connections seamlessly. And those people honestly go so much further than people that are great at their job, but they just don't have the social skills. Unfortunately, you know, I don't make the rules. That's just the way it is. So if you're going to take anything from this video, it's just when you're working, when you're trying to meet people, it doesn't even have to be in a work environment. It could be in any scenario. If you're trying to build a network or connections, just be yourself, you know. Don't try to impress people. Don't try to be perfect. Just be your authentic self, because that's what's going to make people gravitate towards you. That's what is going to connect you with people that are right for you. And ultimately, that's the only way you're going to build a solid group of people around you. Trust me on this one. If someone approached me because they wanted something and it was a purely transactional relationship, I would still happily engage with them on the transactional basis, but it would just be like a one-time thing, you know, unless you're like business partners or something. But if someone actually approached me and we got on really well and we became good friends, I would be much more likely to lift them up and help them in the future than if we just had a one-time exchange. So just be yourself. Don't be afraid to not be perfect. You know, you're going to attract people that are right for you. Not everybody is going to like you, just in the same way that you don't like everybody else. That's something that I really had to come to terms with as well. I always struggled with like people pleasing and just sort of really being scared of other people's opinions. But then I sort of realized that, hang on, I don't even like everybody. So why would everybody like me? As long as, you know, you've got people, genuine people around you that care about you, that you care about as well, then it doesn't matter. So my name's Gwathan. I'm the founder of Hendrik. I'm currently building a business school for people in the music industry. So if there's anything that you think is stopping you from having a successful career within the industry, anything that you really are struggling with or is like a real setback for you, please connect with me on Instagram. I'll link it in the description of this video. Let's have a chat. I'd love to really figure out how I can provide as much value as possible to my future students. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.